Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. The murderer and Hammond. Edgeworth and the murderer. Edgeworth and Hammond. Also wenn es wirklich so sein soll, wie Phoenix es sagt, kann es ja nicht Hammond sein. Hammond ist ja 15 Minuten vorher gestorben. 25 Minuten. Das heißt, es bleibt nur noch die Option Edgeworth and the murderer übrig. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous! Is that right? Tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... Miles Edgeworth, Lotta Hart. What the hell? I don't know, es ist der alte Sack, ist doch klar. Bleibt ja nur noch er übrig. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Well, where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? Show the judge where the murder really took place. Also wenn es der Bootshausbesitzer ist, würde ich mal stark annehmen, dass es im Haus des Bootshausbesitzers war. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larrys testimony, if you will. Das sind immer die besten Animationen. That night he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he started to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned to a boat? The boat shop. Alter. Der Richter ist ja super cool drauf. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gert Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. Alter, das Gesicht. Richtiges Woodface. This was around 11:15. That was when he heard the gunshot that Larry heard. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out in the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? The boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanation is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. Because the first shot missed to create a witness? To create a witness, natürlich. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. And that ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then... Der Blick. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men of the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that everything else falls into place, the boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gert Lake. Punkt, Punkt, Punkt. Punkt, 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 Punkt. Bailiff! Bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. ... Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir! Bailiff! We are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Fight him quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. What the hell? Mr. von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will expand the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilizes all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Ist der einfach abgehauen, der Typ. Yay, Nick, you did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony, still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but... Huh? I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. Okay, Investigation Teil 3, würde ich sagen. To be continued. Wie lange geht der Fall ungefähr noch? Weiß ich nicht. 1 Stunde, 1,5 Stunden. A memory of a crime that I committed. A memory of a murder. Do you really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? I don't believe it, not Edgeworth. Some painful memory has been troubling him recently. But he'd never take someone's life, never. Nick. Yo, how's everyone doing? What do you think of my performance today? I've had him swooning in the axles. Huh, Maya? Swooning? Me? Oh, yes, I do remember feeling faint. Right on, tell me the truth. That was like love at first sight, right? Right, Nick? Huh? Me? Maybe my heart skipped a beat or two. I think you can do better than that. Come on, I saved Edgeworth in that dude. Edgy! You guys should be bowing before me. Bowing before me, yeah. Bow before your hero. Fuck. Okay, Mann, Kurumu, mach's gut, Mann. Ja, danke, dass du da warst. Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. You did. If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty. But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. Way to spoil the mood, Larry. Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know? But from where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. I mean, can you really know he's telling the truth about that night? Nick? I don't know. But what I do know is, I'm going to believe in you two until the end. Us two? Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right? Nah, he means me, right, Nick? Yeah, you, Larry. No, not me. But why you, Larry? Huh? Actually, yeah, why me, Nick? Backstory, guys. Huh, enough with the silent treatment. Nick, why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, true. But when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? You didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait? Was that when you two were classmates? Yes, in grade school. Oh, die Musik. They saved me. Miles. And Larry. They saved me and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know? What? Hey, Larry. What's he talking about? Huh? Sorry, I kinda forgot. Okay, Nick. Out with it. I'm going to hear this story today and that's final. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was the very end of the 3rd grade. I was on trial. A class trial. Holy shit, Klassenkonferenz. A class trial? You remember, Larry? Spring, end of 3rd grade. A kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. Huh? I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared with $38 still inside. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that. I can see why you'd forgotten though. You were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I'd skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So they thought you did it. Yeah, the kids in class said I should be on trial. Trial? So the next day we have the classroom trial with me as the defendant. Alter, allein die Lehrerin da oben rechts, Wonka S. I didn't do it! Guilty! He did it! Guilty! It was you! Thief! Give the money back! You're such a meanie! No one play with him! Just admit you did it! You can't hide the truth! Tell us the truth! We're not gonna play with you anymore! Yeah, no borrowing! He shouldn't be allowed in the red... Okay. Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Go over and apologize, Phoenix. Poor little Phoenix. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad, I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went to where the boy whose money had been stolen was sitting. That's when it happened. He shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs. Miles? Klassensprecher, auf geht's. It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? No. Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one's have any proof. That's why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent. But Miles, it was your money that was stolen. Yeah, he did it. He's the one. We don't need proof. Make him say he's sorry. Why don't you just shut up? Young Larry Butts, aka Billy Butts. This is always how it is. This is always how it is. Everybody's ganging up and picking on one person. Just think how it feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Very well. I will replace the money myself. This class trial is over. Sein Shirt ist all, ja, richtig nice, ne? That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were the best of friends. Hey, wie voll süß. Wow, I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. That's when I learned what it meant to be alone. Totally alone, without a friend in the world. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I had been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So I took it kind of personally, see? When something smells, it's usually the butts. Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after that class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. I'm going to become a defense attorney just like my father. A famous defense attorney. Then a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right. I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad. It was several years later when I heard Edgeworth's name again. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, Dark Suspicions of a Demon Attorney. Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts. The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict, anything. But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. That's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him, I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it off, though. I wanted to meet him too. To learn why he had become who he became. That's when I decided. Wait, you don't mean... That's why? That's why you became a defense attorney, to meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. In court. Edgeworth believed in me and I believe in him. He's in pain and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him. Whoa, Nick! So, is that why you helped me out for free? Yes. I helped you because I believed in you. Except, I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. Where's my money, bitch? Oh, Nick! Nick! We have to save Mr. Edgeworth, and it's the last thing we do, okay? Right. It very well, maybe. First, there's that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for two. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. Das war ein bisschen Backstory, by the way, falls ihr das noch nicht wusstet. Hey, Anton. Okay, gehen wir direkt zum Detention Center und reden mit Edgeworth? I guess so. Hey, Rondi. You look as grim as always, huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial. Class trial? What do you mean? You don't remember? No, I don't. Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 3rd grade? Lunch money? Oh, alright. Yes, I seem to remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you'd do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple to a fault, even. Well, maybe yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Ridiculous. Hey, nice player. Hey, Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter any way you look at it. Yet he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I had lost all my memory of the murder. Lost your memory? Even now I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had been not of sound mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to a lack of evidence. Innocent. Yummy Yogi. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him. So he's like my sister was to you, Nick. He is a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he is obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Perfectly, huh? In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved. And not one suspect was declared innocent, ever. But that's... I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. All Von Karma does is his job to find the suspect guilty perfectly. In any case, it's well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth? If what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. Hey, he's right. Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit. No kidding. Okay, was machen wir jetzt? Ich würde sagen, wir gehen weiter. He's out again. When does he work anyway? Now, don't be harsh. Guess we'll have to come back later. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet. Gumshoe? He won't be coming back today. Oh, really? He said there was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow. The boat shop caretaker. He shouted something about catching him if it's the last thing to do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. Oh mein Gott! Wenn der Bootsbesitzer nicht da ist, können wir doch easy an seinen Safe. Hey, pal. Long time no see. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Close one today, eh? I got so worked up, I snapped my tie in half. Sorry about that. No prob, pal. Thanks to you, we know who really did it. You mean the boat shop caretaker? Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow. Come what may. It's my duty to you as a police officer. Now, I'm off to catch me a criminal. Detective Gumshoe sure is active today. Ah, one other thing. Ew! No one can go into the woods today. The woods? Where Lotta was camping. The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one can go in for a while. I guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Wie gesagt, ich will jetzt unbedingt an den Safe ran. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work. That old caretaker got away. Yep. I never imagined he might be the real murderer. Ahem! I know that clearing of the throat anywhere. Ach, da ist er ja. Annie! Ah, hello! What might you be doing here? Out for a walk, huh? The days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see? Mr. Grossberg, this is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow. That is true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right? Well, I'm not so sure about that. Oh, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you don't find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance. Thanks. Bye. What do you think Mr. Grossberg was doing here anyway? Who knows? Ah, Larry skipping work, not like this. Okay. Nobody's home. Hello, hello, squawk. Hey, it's Polly. I wonder where your owner's gone, Polly. Hello, hello. I can't believe he'd run off and leave his poor parrot to fend for herself. Hello, hello. Wie gesagt, ich will jetzt unbedingt an diesen Safe ran. That reminds me. Polly here knows the number to the safe, right? Yeah, that's right. Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1228, quack. Let's open it, Nick. Come on. I'm sure there isn't any money in there. Oh, but hey. He keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there. I'm not so sure. Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there. I guess there might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter. A letter? Aw, boring. There's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in very precise and clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Nick, why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on here? How should I know? I'm going to read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says, this is your last chance. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. The rest of the letters goes on to describe the murder plot in detail. How to kill Robert Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Calling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. It's all here in perfect detail. Holy shit. What do you think it means, Nick? I don't know, but it looks like these are instructions for that caretaker. When he killed Robert Hammond and called out Edgeworth, he was following instructions. But who could have written that letter? And what does it mean to get revenge on Miles Edgeworth? Look, I don't know, okay? But one thing's for certain. This letter is an amazing clue. Ist da noch was drin? Okay, nix drin. Ja, dann würden wir mal rausgehen. Also ich würde sagen, wir gehen jetzt zu Grossberg. Der ist schon wieder nicht da. Was ist denn mit dem Typen los? Oh, no time to waste. Edgeworth. See this letter? Huh? This came out of the safe in the shack where that boat rental caretaker lives. I see. Revenge on me? Who is that old guy anyway? I don't know. Could he be an innocent defendant who got declared guilty or something? Nice, Wright, but I don't remember that old man. Not at all. So he was following this letter then. Which means there was someone else behind it. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. Two men, meaning myself and Robert Hammond? It also says, this is your last chance. Last chance. Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitations on the DL6 incident. Wait. That old man. What is it? Do you know who he is? Yogi. Could he be Yogi? Yogi? The suspect in the DL6 incident, the one who was found innocent. Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at that time. We just happened to be in that elevator together 15 years ago. Yami Yugi? Ja, Yami Yugi. Und hey, Klein Greenie.